Many aspiring entrepreneurs operate under the assumption that a digital business must be a complex machine. They build systems that require constant manual effort to remain operational, effectively becoming a part of the mechanism themselves. This is the reality of the popular AI agency and white-label SaaS models. While marketed as paths to independence, they often function as high-pressure service jobs, where the operator is the primary point of failure. These models scale linearly with operational debt. Every new client or user adds a predictable layer of onboarding, maintenance, and support. Growth doesn't create freedom, it creates a larger machine to manage. For a solo operator, business leverage is a function of two specific metrics. The x-axis tracks time to first revenue, how quickly the business generates cash. The y-axis tracks total maintenance effort, the amount of ongoing labor required to sustain those earnings. Agencies and SaaS reselling models cluster in the top right quadrant. They require significant upfront setup and high ongoing maintenance. Mathematically, they are the most difficult models for a single person to sustain. The target zone is the bottom left, fast revenue and near-zero maintenance. In the current economy, the high-value digital product is the only asset class capable of occupying this space. True leverage comes from moving away from complex operations. The ultimate goal is to build a digital asset that is entirely decoupled from maintenance debt the moment it launches. However, not all digital products are equal. Most beginners default to high-volume, low-cost consumer templates, introducing a different kind of operational trap. To reach a meaningful income with a $5 product, you need massive scale. Generating $10,000 a month requires 2,000 individual sales. A volume of 2,000 customers inevitably brings a high frequency of refund requests and basic troubleshooting. Even if the product is simple, the sheer number of users creates a hidden support debt that consumes the operator's time. The alternative is the quiet luxury model, high-aesthetic digital assets built specifically for the B2B market. Instead of targeting consumers, these assets serve SME founders and real estate operators, people who value their time in hundreds of dollars per hour. For these buyers, the decision is an ROI calculation. If a $200 asset saves 10 hours of a founder's workflow, the monetary value of that time recovered is far greater than the cost of the tool. By shifting the price point, you change the math of the business. You no longer need 2,000 buyers to reach $10,000 in revenue. You need 50. Managing 50 professional clients reduces the support burden to a negligible level. The operational noise inherent in the high-volume consumer model simply doesn't exist at this scale. Shifting the target from price-sensitive consumers to time-poor businesses solves the volume problem. It allows the solo operator to drastically maximize net margin while fully protecting their most valuable resource, their time. This model relies on treating the build process as a one-time capital expenditure of time. You front-load the intellectual labor so that operational expenses remain at near zero. The goal is to take disorganized operational data and snap it into organized, repeatable blocks. You are selling order, not just information. During the first phase, you use an LLM as a structural research partner. It serves as a tool to map out the scaffolding of the product. You deploy the AI to deconstruct dense workflows, identifying every friction point in their daily routine.
Once the workflow is mapped, aesthetics become the primary value multiplier. Raw data is a commodity, but structured, highly readable data is a premium asset. High-value B2B buyers pay for the wrapper's clarity as much as the logic inside it. This dashboard demonstrates the design mechanics required to justify a premium price. It utilizes generous white space, strict sans serif typography, and contains no visual clutter. For a time-poor buyer, white space has a calming effect. It signals that the tool is intuitive and will reduce their cognitive load. The choice of typography and the absence of clutter communicate authority. It suggests the product was built by an expert who understands professional standards. Placing raw LLM logic inside a high aesthetic wrapper justifies the price point. It converts disorganized information into a professional, ready-to-use tool that businesses can deploy immediately. With the asset built, the focus shifts to fulfillment. The solo operator requires a storefront that functions autonomously. The fulfillment architecture is linear. A customer click triggers a payment processing block, verifying the transaction instantly. Platforms handle complex back-end logistics, tax compliance, and routing. Finally, a webhook sends a secure access link. The cycle completes with zero human interaction.
Once activated, the operator is removed from the supply chain. The machine runs itself. This is the primary advantage over a SaaS model. Software requires ongoing server maintenance, security patches, and bug fixes. A SaaS product with 1,000 users requires a support team and server scaling. A digital product with 1,000 users requires no additional infrastructure beyond the initial setup. A zero-fulfillment supply chain decouples income from time. Delivering the 1,000th unit costs exactly the same as delivering the first. Finally, we address acquisition. Solo operators often struggle when relying on paid ads, as the rising cost of traffic quickly erodes their net margins. The value-first organic loop is a more sustainable alternative, utilizing high-density content to reach targeted buyers. The strategy involves giving away 10. The solo operator's architecture is now complete: high-value B2B research, premium aesthetic design, and an autonomous fulfillment sales engine. By front-loading intellectual capital, you eliminate ongoing fulfillment labor and enable asynchronous distribution. Returning to our matrix, we see that the high-aesthetic digital asset is the only logical choice. It sits firmly in the quadrant of high revenue and near-zero maintenance. Without the heavy friction of ongoing client management or compounding technical debt, the business finally reaches a state of pure, continuous motion. Leverage for the individual operator comes from decoupling income from time, building the asset once, and allowing automated systems to handle the distribution indefinitely.